There's something about being disappointed by someone you trusted that cuts deeper than any physical wound. The frustration is a mixture of confusion and betrayal, trying to make sense of how things went so wrong. I'm frustrated, not because of the situation itself, but because I expected more from someone I thought would understand. It's not just anger, it's the hurt of realizing I was wrong. It's not the anger that burns the most, it's the silence after the storm, when your thoughts collide with all the emotions you wish you never had to feel. I'm so mad, not at the situation, but at myself for giving so much when I knew I should have been more cautious. It's not always the other person, it's the self-doubt that follows. Being angry is easy, but staying angry takes a toll. The frustration builds, and I can't help but wonder what I missed along the way that led to this feeling. When trust is broken, it's like someone tore apart your world without hesitation, and now I'm left wondering how to pick up the pieces without losing myself. It's a constant cycle of disbelief and fury. How could someone you care about act this way? It feels like the betrayal cuts deeper every time I try to understand why. Sometimes the anger doesn't even make sense. It's more of a gut feeling that something went wrong, but you're too wrapped up in emotions to figure out where it all went off course. I'm pissed off, but it's not just about what was done. It's about the lies, the broken promises, and the shattered sense of security that came with it. There are moments when your heart just can't keep up with the thoughts racing through your mind. The disappointment comes with every breath as you try to process the feelings you never saw coming. It's not the actions themselves that burn the most. It's the way you start questioning everything you thought was real, everything you once believed in. When you give your all to someone and they don't even try to meet you halfway, the frustration sets in. It's not just the disappointment, it's the realization of how much you sacrificed for nothing. I'm angry, but it's not just at you. I'm mad at myself for allowing this to happen, for letting my guard down when I should have known better. The rage isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, deep within, where I replay every moment, trying to figure out how things got so twisted. Being mad is easy. The hard part is deciding whether you want to stay mad or whether you can find peace despite the anger. It's hard to be upset when you still care, but it's harder to care when you're constantly met with disappointment. That's the battle of the mind and heart. The most frustrating part of feeling betrayed isn't the betrayal itself. It's the questions you ask yourself, the what did I do wrong, and the helplessness that follows. I'm frustrated because I let my expectations of you grow too high, and now I'm left with the emptiness of unmet hopes and unspoken words. Anger doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It's the result of expectations being shattered, promises broken, and trust that can't be repaired with simple apologies. Sometimes the biggest anger is the one that comes from within. The rage is at myself for ignoring the signs and allowing things to go this far. Feeling let down is one thing, but feeling like you were taken for granted is another. The anger that follows isn't something you can just shake off. Frustration doesn't always make sense. It's not about the action, it's about the principle, the values, and the realization that not everyone sees things the way you do. I've never been more upset than I am now. And it's not just because of what happened. It's because I've been forced to find a truth I wasn't ready to accept. I thought I knew you, but now I'm left with the anger of discovering that I didn't know you at all. Trust is hard to rebuild once it's broken. Anger can be overwhelming, but what frustrates me more is the doubt that creeps in. It's not about what happened. It's about how much I believed in something that turned out to be false. Sometimes I don't even know who I'm angrier at. You for disappointing me, or myself for letting this situation get to this point in the first place. When you realize that someone you've been there for doesn't even have the decency to show up when you need them, that's when the anger takes root. The hardest part about being upset is trying to articulate why you feel this way. Words feel too small for something as big as the hurt you're carrying inside. I'm angry, but it's the kind of anger that builds over time, a slow, smoldering frustration that lingers in every conversation, every glance, and every silence. There are moments when anger doesn't even begin to describe how I feel. It's more like a deep ache that doesn't go away, no matter how much time passes.